Look at history. The idea that Russia can outlast everybody is a fallacy. The Russians lost to the Japanese in the Russo-Japanese War, and then they had major internal problems. In the First World War, the empire collapsed under the weight of the failed system and the failed policy. The Soviet Union collapsed as a result of internal failures in the way that the country was run, administered, and the way the economy functioned or didn't function. You can give a lot of examples where Russia's had a lot of internal problems, and Russians will only take being abused to a certain point before they go to the street, right? So, and we in the West are facing nothing like even the Russians are facing at home, the suffering that they're facing, which has been placed on them by their own regime. And I personally, knowing a lot of Russians, believe that at some point they're just say, we've had enough of this. Like it's ridiculous. What is Putin giving them? When he came to power in the early 2000s, late 99, 2000, he promised them to bring them dignity, to bring the economy back, to bring back Russia's place in the world. Now what are they getting? Okay, rising rates of crime again in Russia, kind of chaos, social chaos, shortages, unemployment, demographic problems. Are Russians respected now around the world more than they were 10 years ago, 20 years ago? No. As a matter of fact, I know many Russians living outside of Russia that are ashamed to say they're Russian. Putin did that, right? That's what he's bringing them. That's how Russia's going to be remembered. For all the Russians that are listening to this podcast, is that the way you want to be remembered in history? As, the generation that saw whatever hope Russia had of being a normal country go down the drain because you had a dictator whose ego drove him to think that he should impose his will on his neighbors, and that they had to live by his view of the world, or else, they shouldn't live at all. That's, to me, crazy.